Hallo Deutschlerner! In my previous two videos I introduced you to the perfect tense in German. I showed you a ton of examples in an example dialogue skit, and then I showed you the basics of this tense and how it works with regular verbs in the last video. If you haven't seen those two videos, I encourage you to watch those first. Today I'm going to explain how irregular verbs work in the perfect tense. Regular verbs, as I mentioned in my previous video, generally add ge to the front of the verb and t to the end of the stem, changing verbs like machen into their Partizip 2 version, gemacht. Irregular verbs have a ge at the beginning most of the time as well, and will only remove the ge in the same situations that regular verbs did, so verbs with inseparable prefixes. The ending for irregular verbs, however, is not always a t. Sometimes you add en to the end of the stem instead. This is most prominent in the irregular verbs that look basically like the infinitive with ge slapped in front. For example, backen, gebacken. Ich backe einen Kuchen. I am baking a cake. Ich habe einen Kuchen gebacken. I baked a cake. Einladen, eingeladen. Quick reminder, don't forget that verbs with separable prefixes will use the ge between the verb stem and the separable prefix. Lädt deine Mutter zum Abendessen ein. He is inviting your mother to dinner. Hat deine Mutter zum Abendessen eingeladen. He invited your mother to dinner. Anfangen, angefangen. Das Spiel fängt 3 an. The game starts at 3. Das Spiel hat 3 angefangen. The game started at 3. Schlafen, geschlafen. Ich schlafe nicht gut in der Nacht. I don't sleep well at night. Ich habe nicht gut in der Nacht geschlafen. I didn't sleep well at night. Sehen, gesehen. Wir sehen deinen Bruder im Kino. We are seeing your brother at the movie theater. Wir haben deinen Bruder im Kino gesehen. We saw your brother at the movie theater. Geben, gegeben. Sein Vater gibt ihm ein Auto. His father is giving him a car. Sein Vater hat ihm ein Auto gegeben. His father gave him a car. Fahren, gefahren. As I mentioned in my last video, the verb fahren can be used with either haben or sein as a helping verb, depending on how it's used. So today, I'll show you both examples. Fährst du mit dem Bus zur Schule? Are you riding the bus to school? Bist du mit dem Bus zur Schule gefahren? Did you ride the bus to school? Fährst du das Auto deines Vaters zur Schule? Are you driving your father's car to school? Hast du das Auto deines Vaters zur Schule gefahren? Did you drive your father's car to school? Essen, gegessen. This one is slightly different because it adds an extra g between the initial ge and the infinitive essen. This is simply to aid in pronunciation. Ihre Tochter isst kein Schnitzel. Her daughter doesn't eat Schnitzel or cutlet. Ihre Tochter hat kein Schnitzel gegessen. Her daughter didn't eat Schnitzel or cutlet. Bekommen, bekommen. Since there's an inseparable prefix be, there is no ge added to the beginning of this one. Wir bekommen jedes Jahr eine Karte von unserer Tante. We get a card from our aunt every year. Wir haben jedes Jahr eine Karte von unserer Tante bekommen. We got a card from our aunt every year. In addition to verbs that are essentially the infinitive with ge added to the front, there are other irregular verbs that are just weird, because they often have stem changes that at first glance seem pretty random. For example, wegnehmen, weggenommen. Fred nimmt mir mein Spielzeug weg. Fred is taking away my toy. Fred hat mir mein Spielzeug weggenommen. Fred took away my toy. Aufstehen, aufgestanden. Steht gegen 9 Uhr morgens auf. He gets up around 9 in the morning. Ist gegen 9 Uhr morgens aufgestanden. He got up around 9 in the morning. Beißen, gebissen. Charlie beißt mir in den Finger. Charlie is biting my finger. Charlie hat mir in den Finger gebissen. Charlie bit my finger. Bleiben, geblieben. Die Kinder bleiben heute zu Hause. The children are staying at home today. Die Kinder sind heute zu Hause geblieben. The children stayed at home today. Gehen, gegangen. Gehst du heute einkaufen? Are you going shopping today? Bist du heute einkaufen gegangen? Did you go shopping today? Wissen, gewusst. Das weiß ich schon. I already know that. Das habe ich schon gewusst. I already knew that. Excuse me, Herr Antrim? How am I supposed to remember the past tense of verbs if they follow no real rhyme or reason? It can seem this way at first, but when you take a step back and view a group of verbs together, you can often find similarities and patterns. The easiest way to recognize these patterns is to include the simple past tense form of these verbs as well, along with their infinitive and the Partizip 2. If you want to learn more about the German simple past, I have several videos about that tense linked over here. If you want to learn more about the patterns of verbs that I just mentioned and the ways that they change from the infinitive to the Präteritum and then to the Partizip 2, I made a video for that linked over here. Das ist alles für heute. Danke fürs Zuschauen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss!